This is a very common issue that I notice in most organizations. I call it as a prepared talent. When people are not ready, how do they take new positions? This can be addressed in two ways. And this should be the practice that all organizations must follow. Number one is preparing the organization. In other words, preparing the people to take higher roles, bigger roles, complex roles. This is an initiative from the company keeping 3 years in mind. You cannot prepare anybody overnight. It's exactly like when you go to play for a soccer game, for a World Cup or for Asia Cup. You got to start preparing 2 years in advance or more. This is an important thing we must understand. And therefore, in the top leadership mind, we have clear idea about what are the future talent requirements that we need for effective organizational performance, particularly for critical talent requirements. Leadership positions are definitely one of the most critical talent requirements. The second thing that we must do comes from preparation of an individual. Here, individual has to prepare himself or herself for a future position. Now, the onus of this comes on an individual. That means individual will have to continue to show progress towards building the potential to be able to take a higher level positions. Now, this doesn't happen on its own. As organizational leaders, we have some responsibility towards enabling individual to begin to think in that direction. And that is done through a feedback tool. As leaders, we must give feedback to people and do a dialogue with people continuously so that they are on their improvement journey continuously. Sometimes we even tell an individual that the future positions will require these kind of competencies for which we are noticing that a person is not ready. Even though the position is not ready, we are creating kind of a sense of urgency amongst individuals to begin to prepare for future. Now, these are the two important things that we must do. If we do these two things right, to a great extent, this problem will be solved. Now, still, what happens when you have an individual who is not progressing enough, fast enough to build that potential to be able to take a senior position? And let us say from the organization, we could not think through 3 years hence, and suddenly a new position has become very important because of some external reasons or because somebody left which we were not so ready and we did not have a succession planning. In that situation, what do? So in that situation, actually you have no choice but to take people from outside. This is not a very recommended situation. I am very against that, and I call it helicopter landing, where a person comes like in a helicopter at a senior position and gets landed into a company. It creates a lot of difficulties and complexities for the entire team, for the organization, even for that individual to adjust to the culture of the company at that senior level. But you have no choice because there are two mistakes we did. Number one, we did not think through, and number two, we did not give enough feedback to an individual early enough so that the person prepares, and if cannot prepare, the person knows that I am not ready and some other person is going to become my boss very soon. If we do this preparation well, then a helicopter landing to some extent is still recommended because you have no other choice.